Good morning, Hastings, and welcome to your daily almanac for March 12th. We've got one of those classic Minnesota days on tap, a real day of two halves. So let's get right into it and see what's in store for us. Yeah, if you were up and about early this morning, you definitely felt it. That crisp 26 degrees start. It's just one of those beautiful, still mornings, right? The air feels so clean, and that first cup of coffee just hits different. But, as any good Minnesotan knows, a calm March morning can be a bit of a trickster. Okay, let's unpack today's weather story because it really is a tale of two completely different parts of the day. So, we're going to climb up to a high of about 45 degrees. That's going to feel pretty decent for a little while, so for sure, enjoy it while it lasts. But then, tonight, that temperature is going to dip back down to an overnight low of 30, and that's exactly when things start to get interesting. Here it is, the day's big plot twist. We're starting out all fair and calm. Perfect weather for getting those errands done. But later this afternoon, you'll see the clouds roll in, the rain will likely start, and the wind is really going to kick up. It is a classic don't let the morning fool you kind of day. We are looking at about a 60% chance of precipitation. Now, the timing here is really key. We might see a little bit of a rain and snow mix try to sneak in before 2 p.m., but honestly, don't expect any of it to stick around. After that, it's pretty much just rain for the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. Okay, now for the main event. And I want everyone to pay attention to this. A high wind warning is officially in effect for us here in Hastings and all of Dakota County. And check out the timing. It starts at midnight tonight and runs all the way until 10 a.m. on Friday. And this is the reason why. We could see wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour after midnight. That's no joke. That is absolutely strong enough to cause some damage and make driving pretty tricky. This wind is the day's biggest headline, and for sure the biggest hazard to be aware of. So, how do we handle all this? It's pretty simple, actually. A rain shell or a good hooded jacket is definitely your best friend today. You'll want to leave the sneakers at home and go for some waterproof shoes. And hey, if you have things to do, that morning window is your golden opportunity. Most important thing, though, before you go to bed tonight, just take a quick peek outside and make sure you secure anything that might decide to take a surprise trip down the street in that wind. And to put it all in perspective for you, here's your weather joke of the day. Today's forecast has some real small-town gossip energy. It starts out calm and quiet. Things get a little mixed up by noon, and then, by midnight, it gets very, very loud. All right, so while the wind is getting ready to make a little history of its own tonight, let's pivot for a second and look back at what has already made this date, March 12th, so significant. On this very day in history, 3 totally different but really important events happened. A massive gift changed the way we all read, a local movement fought for justice, and a pretty daring mission kept our eyes glued to the stars. Let's start right here, close to home. On this date, way back in 1912, just next door in St. Paul, leaders like Frederick McGee formed something called the Twin City Protective League. This was such a critical early step in organizing what would eventually become the NAACP's work right here in Minnesota. Just a powerful reminder that the long history of civil rights has incredibly deep local roots. Okay, now let's jump back to 1901. A man named Andrew Carnegie offered a staggering, truly staggering for the time, $5.2 million to New York City just to build 65 branch libraries. Think about that. This single act helped create the modern public library system, which is just such a cornerstone of American life and a testament to the power of free access to knowledge for everybody. And finally, let's zoom forward to 2002. The Space Shuttle Columbia landed safely after what was a truly breathtaking mission. Astronauts had just completed 5 incredibly complex spacewalks to upgrade the Hubble telescope. They basically gave humanity's greatest eye on the universe a brand new pair of glasses. So, as we bring this all together, what do we have? We've got a day of immediate change right in front of us. A calm morning that's going to give way to a windy, wet night. And at the same time, we have the echoes of these huge changes from the past that are still shaping our world today. So, I'll leave you with a thought for the day. From the winds that are going to be rattling our windows tonight to the new perspectives we've gained through justice and exploration, what mark will we leave on this March 12th? Thanks for joining me today. Stay safe in that wind, Hastings, and I'll see you next time.